great news just yet, but I'm getting ready to make my debut in just under an hour at noon. But beforehand, let's talk about the weather, or let's just talk a little bit about me so you can kind of get to know me. I'm originally from Bath Township. Over the last several years, my wife and I have lived all over the United States, from Texas, Louisiana, Wisconsin, northern Indiana, and it feels good to be back in Northeast Ohio. And since we're going to be tracking some heat this week, go ahead and in the comments section, tell me your best ways or best places that you like to stay cool out. So let's talk about the weather for this week. Heat advisory just went into effect for all of Northeast Ohio. So you see all the counties highlighted in orange from Northeast Ohio. This is a heat advisory that will be in effect not only for today, but tomorrow, even through Friday. So we're going to be tracking an extended period of some very hot temperatures, high humidity levels, and at times we will see some dangerous heat index values well above 100 degrees. So that's going to be the main weather story for the upcoming week. So expect a lot of heat, a lot of humidity, and very little to no rain chances at times, but we won't be exactly rain free all week. You know it's going to be a hot day in Northeast Ohio when it's not even midday and temperatures are climbing well above 80 degrees. 84 officially in Cleveland, 85 in Lorain, 84 in Akron Canton, 83 in New Philadelphia, 86 in Worcester, and 88 right now in Mansfield. And look at Findlay out to our west, already above 91 degrees. Not only is it hot out there, but it's also very humid. So as soon as you step outside this afternoon, you are going to feel the humidity. Dew point temperatures, which tells us exactly how much moisture there is in the air, are well into the 60s. And once you get that dew point temperature above 60 degrees, you really start to feel the mugginess or the stickiness in the air. And those dew point temperatures will be well into the 60s for the next several days. In fact, at times the dew point temperature will be above 70 degrees. So at times it's going to feel like a sauna outside here in Northeast Ohio. So yes, it's warm outside, and those high humidity levels adding a few degrees to the actual air temperature, which is why it already feels like 92 in Mansfield, and the feels like temperature or heat index value in Findlay is 98 degrees. So once again, we are expecting some dangerous heat this afternoon. So between 2 and let's say 5 or 6 o'clock this evening, we definitely want to try to limit our time outside, and we don't want to overdo it outside. So this afternoon through early this evening, we probably don't want to go for that jog outside, take the dog for a walk, do any exertion outside. So we want to try to limit those activities to either the early morning hours or perhaps the late evening hours. So you will see the actual air temperature on this map will be in the low to middle 90s this afternoon, but those feels like temperatures once again coming much closer to the century mark this afternoon. So we're going to be tracking a lot of heat and humidity for the upcoming day. Now our rain chances for today, they're low, but they're not exactly zero. There is a chance that a few spots could be cooled off by a downpour or a storm this afternoon or early this evening. But for right now, Storm Fox, it's on a clean sweep. We're just tracking some clouds out there, quite a bit of sunshine on my commute up to work this morning. And I think for the most part, we're going to be tracking more heat and humidity than rain and storms. So let's talk about the overall weather pattern. There's an area of high pressure or in the atmosphere. This is called an upper level ridge that's really positioned just to our south. And under this area of high pressure, we typically get sinking motion in the atmosphere. And when air sinks in the atmosphere, it typically heats up. That's why a lot of people call this type of weather pattern the heat dome, because that bubble of really hot air really develops under this area of high pressure. Now that will deflect the jet stream or the very strong winds at cloud level off to our north. And that's where the more active weather will be for the upcoming work week. But if you notice, this area of high pressure isn't exactly over Northeast Ohio. So that means there still may be the potential for some showers, some downpours, and even some storms at time for the upcoming week. So let's go ahead and jump into Featurecast just to kind of get the very latest run of that to see how good our rain chances will be. And yes, we'll be tracking some hit, but mostly missed downpours and storms this afternoon through early this evening. So Featurecast says we're going to be dry through midday today, and I do believe that. But as we head towards the peak heating time, maybe after 4 o'clock this afternoon, that's when some rain showers, some downpours, and even some storms will develop. And with all the heat and humidity in the atmosphere right now, anything that does develop could produce some locally heavy rain, and maybe 1 or 2 storms could produce some gusty winds as well. But I'm really not expecting much in the way of any severe weather this afternoon or this evening. Now by 8 o'clock this evening, once again, we're starting to see some of those downpours and storms develop across our far eastern communities, and that chance of rain will start to dwindle as we head towards midnight tonight, as soon as we start to lose that daytime heating. So for tonight, for today, my forecast high is 95 degrees. But once again, those feels like temperatures will be much closer to 100 degrees. So at times, many of us will be dealing with some dangerous heat this afternoon. And once again, with it being the middle of June and this being perhaps the hottest stretch of weather that we've seen so far this year, we really don't want to overdo it outside just yet. So when we're looking at heat index values for the upcoming week, we're talking about max feels like temperatures or heat index values not only for today, but for the rest of the week, near or above 100 degrees. So that will be the potential for 100 degrees feels like temperatures or heat index values every day this week, mainly between 2 o'clock in the afternoon and 7. So that's really the time frame during each day that we want to limit our time outside and take it easy outside. To put this into perspective, let's look at the heat index history across parts of Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. So the graph that we're looking at here is each year, we'll see the number of hours each summer that we had a heat index value above 100 degrees or at 100 degrees. Last year, we did not see a feels like temperature or heat index value above 100 degrees for the entire summer of 2023. The year before that, in 2022, we saw 8 hours with a feels like temperature above 100 degrees. And then if you go back into the 90s, especially in 1995, we saw 62 hours of a feels like temperature at or above 100 degrees. And there is the potential that we're likely going to pass that 22 summer later this week with just how many hours we could potentially see with that feels like temperature above 100 degrees. So I hope you like your weather hot this week, because that's what you're going to get. A lot of heat, a lot of humidity. There will be that chance for maybe some pop-up downpours and storms each day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but I would plan on beating the heat, then dodging any showers or storms for the next couple of days. It does look like this weather pattern will eventually start to break down towards the end of the weekend, and then especially into early next week. That's when we could be tracking a cold front that's going to knock our temperatures down just a little bit, and also bring an increasing chance for some rain as well. We'll have more on the heat advisory and the dangerous heat as we head towards the noon hour coming up on Fox 8. So I hope you join me and my first newscast then. Thanks.